these are not always compliments. They are not always compliments. They portend...
That was gross. You didn't edit that out? What's up, guys? So today I came across this girl's video. I put out a video today and somebody put a link to this person's video in the comments. So I checked it out. And I must say, like, that her facts, her info is so off. And, you know, I know you're feeling the same thing. Like, when you see these type of videos made about Elvis that are totally inaccurate, I'm like, hey, you know what? I need to start making some debunking videos, showing the facts, not just people's opinion or how they want to portray Elvis, right or wrong. So let's go through this video and I'm going to point out where this person is wrong on Elvis.
Elvis Presley and his wife, his teen bride, Priscilla.
His teen bride? No, they got married when she was just about to be 22.
I mean, obviously, you know, we know his songs, a little less conversation, a little more action.
Yeah, no.
Elvis Presley, it's very important to look at his role in society. You know, how incredibly large he was and how he chose to wield that power. Do you know what he chose to do with that power? Not start a foundation, not bring awareness to autism or anything like that. To seduce as many virgins as he possibly could. Ugh. Okay.
Okay, so this girl is like obsessed in this video about talking about virgins and about how Elvis loved virgins. I don't know what she's talking about or where she got this info from, because she doesn't cite any facts in this video. Elvis was his own charitable foundation. Elvis didn't need to create charitable foundations. He was his own charitable foundation. Elvis was like probably the most charitable celebrity of all time. Okay, in 1957, Elvis promoted the polio vaccine, which eradicated the polio pandemic in America. What happened was a vaccine came out in the late 50s, but nobody was taking it. Teens weren't, kids weren't. Elvis took photos getting the actual polio vaccine, and the occurrences of the polio virus went down in America, so much so that by 1960, it was barely even relevant. It was eradicated thanks to Elvis. Elvis paid for people's funerals. He paid for people's doctor's bills.
Could you sing me a special song, please?
I sure will.
Don't Cry Daddy or Love Me Tender or whichever one you want.
Alrighty.
Or whichever one you want.
Danny,
okay. Look over here, honey. No, look at Elvis. Okay.
Okay, smile. I'm not going to tell you which one I'm going to do, okay? I'm just
The
surprised.
special one. What's your favorite song? Surprise,
Here you go.
Oh.
Okay. How about it?
Oh. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye, you.
Bye. Thank you. You happy now?
He bought houses for friends, Cadillacs, cars for people he didn't even know, just to see the happiness in their expression on their face. What this lady is talking, and you'll see in this video, she has an obsession with saying Elvis only wanted virgins or something. I really don't know where this lady gets this stuff from. I'm sorry I had to sit through 30 minutes of this video just to debunk it all. But there's no evidence. Like I said, I don't know where she gets this stuff from.
He was obsessed with virgins. We're getting ahead of ourselves. He was obsessed with virgins, and not just virgins, not like 19-year-old virgins who are, you know, still of an appropriate age. They just haven't had sex yet. No. Like 13-year-olds. In fact, people in his circle said that 14 was like the magic number for him. Like,
okay, I've read just about every Elvis book, every documentary, been to the house, the whole 9 yards. That's the first time I ever heard Elvis wanted 13-year-olds and wanted to make out with 13-year-olds. Like I said, where are you getting your info from? Can you tell me?
He would invite girls backstage after his concerts with their parents and be like, hey, can I take your 13-year-old daughter to a bar? I'll take real good care of her. And they're like, okay, okay.
Okay, debunking again. Elvis didn't go to bars. If he had anything to drink backstage in his dressing room, it was like pop. Elvis wasn't a drinker, but are you the Elvis historian? I don't know. Where'd you come up with this stuff from? Elvis would bring 13-year-old girls Or young minors backstage? No, I'm sorry. And then ask him to a bar?
And the things he would say. I can raise her up to be the perfect wife. She should go to a convent school in Memphis and then live with me at Graceland at night. A convent school. Pulled her out of her family, moved her out of her family's house, put her in a convent school, and then her at night.
Okay, so I'm obviously going to bleep some of that stuff out that she says. I don't want that on my channel, her language. I don't want it messing with my channel or my videos. But so this girl, and I see this trend starting to form, and that's why it needs to be debunked. Elvis didn't have sex with minors. Okay, no matter how much people want to start this little rumor and peddle this false claim, even Priscilla says she was a virgin until marriage. Okay, so at some point you're going to start to have to believe in all these witnesses. And still, she hasn't cited any source for her claims.
He had this like demented, vague, childlike idea of what sex was. And so he would have sex with these children, but not come, like stop just before he came, because then that meant they were still virgins. Oh man. And like, why would he do that?
Again, like, where is this coming from? Where did she get this info? This is definitely not true. I've read like everything there is to read. Elvis never had that ideology.
She got pregnant on their honeymoon in Palm Springs, and when he realized she was pregnant, he never had sex with her again. Ever. Because he was so obsessed with virgins and virginity and purity that her being pregnant was proof that she was no longer a virgin.
So there she goes again with that virgin thing. All right, you know, a lot of guys actually prefer virgins because they don't want a girl who's all used up and this and that. Not saying that a girl who had sex is used up, but him preferring a virgin is not uncommon. But like I said, I've never read any books, seen any interviews, anything like that that says Elvis, that's what he wanted, a minor who's a virgin. So I don't know where she comes up with this again. I will give this person credit in the sense that, yeah, it was a little messed up that Elvis had a thing about not having sex with moms. But that was just his thing. Right or wrong, that was his thing. He was married to her, so yeah, I think that was wrong. But there she goes with the virgin. Like, what?
Understand it, but I have had boyfriends who are like, why do you feel the need to dress like that? I was like, why the f do you feel the need to stand in my house and eat my food? You could see your way out. I'm like not the one to run this game on. Like,
yeah, after hearing her mouth for the past 30 minutes, I don't think a lot of guys would have a problem doing that. All right, guys, so in wrapping this up, this lady's got like a 30-minute video, and it looks like I didn't watch like a bunch of her videos. I kind of looked at the titles and stuff, and judging from this video that I've watched, it looks like she's got some type of a channel where, you know, she wants to help women, and maybe her motives are right, you know, but in this video, it's like, don't be with a guy like Elvis, and these are the warning signs. Okay, so there's two sides to this story. You know, Elvis was in a very vulnerable state when he went into the army. That's where he met Priscilla. His mom had just died, who he was so close with. And, you know, he was obviously close with her because they were very poor. They needed each other. Gladys, Elvis, and Vernon needed each other. That brought them extremely close together because of their poverty. Like she says in the video, Elvis's brother was stillborn, but she is like portraying, oh, maybe there's something weird about that relationship with Elvis and his mom. Maybe that's the 14-year-old thing, which I don't know where she got that from, like I've been saying, but that's totally off base. Yeah, Elvis did meet Priscilla when he was totally lonely because he lost his mom. He was in a faraway country he's never been. He thought his career was over all in that year. You know, so Elvis is very vulnerable. Me personally, I think that was the wrong move by thinking, oh, Priscilla, you know, if she grows up, maybe she could be the type of woman that I could marry and da-da-da-da. I don't think his head was in the right spot. It was their wedding night before they consummated the relationship. And that's just the proof. And Priscilla said it. Everybody said that. So a few years later, where Elvis brought her back to the United States to go to school. She did not stay with Elvis. Yes, it was a few years later before that happened, but she was like 17, 18. And like I'm saying, that's not like the perfect ideal situation.
Under no circumstances were his ideas or playfulness ever perverted.
No.
Do you feel the same way today, now that you're older and you look back?
No, I can't say it's a perversion. I really can't say that. I mean, nothing was harmful. Nothing was done in bad intent. Nothing was done, you know, that I don't think is unusual.
But it's not like Priscilla was the only victim here. You got to look at Elvis himself, okay? You could say that maybe Priscilla was looking at Elvis, you know, to have the name Elvis Presley, to be famous, to be the famous wife of Elvis. What about Priscilla's parents? You know, Priscilla's dad, actually, I've read, was the one that really put the pressure on Elvis and threatened Elvis to go forward. You better go forward with this marriage because you did this, this, and this. Yeah, Elvis made some mistakes, but then he found himself caught in a trap, so to speak, and realized this isn't the one for me. By the late 60s, many sources say that Priscilla wasn't faithful to Elvis either. So it was a two-way street. He could have been using her, but she could have been using him at the same time. Elvis did not want to go through, in my opinion, with the marriage. But he found himself caught because even his manager was saying, hey, you know, you need to marry this girl. She's 21, and this will not look good for your reputation.
Finally, after 6 years, he asked you to marry him. How come? What happened?
I think the pressure was on somewhat, too. We've been together for 6 years. The relationship is going well. The suggestion, I think, came from Colonel Parker. Either, you know, maybe you should either get married or go on. If you're not going to get married, then what are you doing?
And so, against what I believe was his own will, he ended up marrying her. It wasn't a perfect situation. Maybe the only little thing in Elvis's life that you could say wasn't all right, but he definitely wasn't a pedo like some people want to say. He did keep that vow of not having relations until she was 21. So all these accusations that this lady made about Elvis are untrue. And I think that this will start a series of videos debunking all these falsehoods and myths about Elvis that people either make up or get half info about. But give this video a like if you've thought this was good. If you'd like to see more videos like this to help clean up Elvis's image from some of these false lies. So thanks for tuning into this video and look forward to the next one.